Hiyo, Geela here. Welcome back. It's crazy to think that it's already December 31st. Where did the year go? Anyways, by the title of this video, you can already tell that I'm going to talk about Technoblade. This is going to be a straightforward video, no crazy editing, just me talking off the cuff, the speed paint, and an occasional photo here or there. So it might be a bit rambly, so thank you for staying to listen. Technoblade is generally often on my mind due to me having his plush, and I love hugging it. It's very huggable. You know, actually, I want to go grab that. I don't really have the same kind of intense sadness that I had when I had first learned of Technoblade passing away 6 months ago. It's almost like a serene acceptance while still missing Techno and his sarcastic but funny personality. I can look at the good times and smile while being able to understand the silence that he won't be able to make any more content. Technoblade's death hit me in a way no previous YouTuber's death hit me. One, I've never been as invested in a content creator before, having used YouTube to only listen to music until lockdowns happened, with the occasional PokeTuber and then getting into Critical Role, trying to catch up with their bajillion episodes. I know it's crazy to think about, especially since YouTube is so much more a part of my life now, as a consumer and as a creator. It's also crazy to think that at the time, in the beginning of 2021, I had only vaguely knew about Technoblade as a Minecraft YouTuber because I've never played Minecraft before and I was never really interested in doing so. It wasn't until around February time of 2021 that a friend of mine was talking about the story and the lore of the Dream SMP, and because she knew that I would be interested. See, I'm a person who wouldn't play a game, but I would dive headfirst into the lore anyway. It's honestly a problem. But still, I didn't yet get into the Dream SMP until I started hearing the songs, especially Woe to the People of Order by the Shiny Snivy, especially the cover by Ms. Fish. I had to look that up really quickly. I wanted to make sure I got those right. Rue the Day by Amanda Fagan, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, was also an early banger for me. Then I saw a few of the absolutely gorgeous and well-made animatics. I figured, sure, why not? I'll check out the Dream SMP. But it was a lot of content by the time I got in. This was already past Doomsday, so you can understand how much content that was. So I just sort of gravitated to Technoblade's point of view. It was shorter in comparison to the other main players. He was someone I vaguely knew prior. His role in the story seemed extremely eye-catching based on the fans' songs and animatics, and his personality instantly caught my interest once I watched his first Dream SMP livestream in his catalog. I am a sucker for sarcastic content. My whole Hispanic side of the family is very fluent in sarcasm. Not to mention, he is a legend for a good reason. Technoblade was super skilled while being entertaining. I might have not known Minecraft very well, but I could tell that he was a really good player. So I ended up enjoying his previous streams that weren't even Dream SMP related as well. Pretty quickly, he became one of my favorite YouTubers, and I began watching other creators that I never would have known otherwise. Technoblade was also the first YouTuber I actually got to watch his live streams a bit more consistently, for whatever consistency he had at that time. And actively participated in his live chats. Usually, I don't watch live streams, and if I do, I'm usually a lurker. It's, hilarious how Technoblade, famous for his inconsistent live streams and uploading schedule, was able to sort of grab my attention so thoroughly. Honestly, it's probably because of that inconsistency while still having such a supportive community that charmed me. Technoblade was also the first person that I chose to become a channel member for and had access to a Discord with others who had similar interests to mine. I'm a very extroverted person, but I'm skilled in sort of in-person interactions. I was much more clueless than now in terms of internet connections and interactions. I barely even knew what Discord was at the time. But it was really, really enjoyable to get to see other people's art and people talking about lore. Technoblade's streams also basically taught me how to play Minecraft, and I started playing Minecraft with my IRL friends because of him, with a small server that I still enjoy today. Technoblade was also the first person I ever bought merch from, with his Technoblade plushie that I still hug whenever I need comfort. And this plushie really helped me a lot when his death was announced. The other merch that I got from him was his 10 million subscriber long sleeve. I just absolutely love the back design of it, and it was a huge milestone that I was actually there to see happen on December 31st, 2021, so a year from right now. It was honestly really funny hearing Technoblade complain about buying an ad just for a video and a live stream to get him to anyway, at 5:35 a.m. his time, right before he was about to go to bed. with him getting that 10 mil within 6 minutes of starting the stream. But for real, like, I also have a horrible sleeping schedule at times, and I honestly felt that when he was complaining. I wore this long sleeve shirt very often during those early days of his death announcement, and I still wear it whenever I'm particularly thinking of Technoblade a lot. Even as I record this, I'm wearing the long sleeve. Very comfortable. I enjoy it. And when drawing and coloring these pictures, I was also wearing the long sleeve. And I wanted to make this video because I wanted to sort of reminisce on my joyful times, as well as my grief regarding Technoblade. I figured today was a good day to do this, the end of the year, the same year that Technoblade passed away, as well as Technoblade's 1-year anniversary for his 10 million subscribers. I still remember when Technoblade's sort of sponsored club Discord got locked, because no one had proper access to moderate anymore. Oh my gosh. I do not know why I suddenly got really emotional. And I don't know if I want to edit this out or not. So I'm just gonna take a moment really quickly. It's very interesting how like the psychology of all like grief works, where whenever I think about Technoblade, I think very happy thoughts. I guess because I'm starting to think about like all the things that I sort of lost. That sort of wave of like that more sadness aspect of grief just came back all of a sudden. And I'm sure people still experience that to this day because, you know, grief is a process. It's not linear. It tends to go into cycles. And this is not to compare my own grief to his family and friends who personally knew him. Grief is a response to loss, and each of us lost something to various degrees with Technoblade's passing. And I don't want us to compare ourselves negatively for a feeling that we can't control. Back to what I was sort of talking about was Technoblade's sponsor club Discord. After he passed, it got locked because no one had access to administrator because Technoblade was the administrator. And so the moderators couldn't really do what they needed to. So it ended up just getting locked during the time where a lot of people were grieving. And I understand why they had to lock it. And I can look back on it now where I can see it as sort of like a time capsule to look upon. Thankfully, though, I was able to still see the support for everyone within the community that sort of helped ease the feeling of separation and loss. Seeing people's stories, their artwork, and their videos about Technoblade was very beautiful to see. And Hypixel's memorial and Mojang's nods to Technoblade really showed how much Technoblade was loved and how much his community stands with him. That even those outside of his direct community also respected him. Even YouTube itself made a memorial video for Technoblade on his channel anniversary. Donations for cancer research skyrocketed even before his passing, and I'm happy Technoblade got recognized for it by the SFA, because I've also lost a family member to cancer, where I also had a family member pass around the same time period, but the year prior. With so many people and with organizations putting contributions in honor of Technoblade, I also wanted to put my piece out there in remembrance of him, because I never got to openly say it out loud like this when I had wanted to for a while but wasn't sort of emotionally ready to do so. Anyways, that's about it. I know it was a much more personal video than probably any of my other videos, but saying these things out loud just feels different from just writing them. So thank you guys all for listening. Regarding these drawings, they were simple, but they mean a lot to me. Hugging my Techno plush while in my 10 million merch, surrounded in my colors that look like the Arctic blankets and pillows, and a background of gentle night. With the other picture, it's the one that I drew the day after we all learned the news. However, I was never satisfied with it because I wanted to color it. I had never made a fully sort of colored version art of Technoblade, I think. So that's what I did. I felt honestly happy to spend time coloring it. I enjoyed coloring it, finalizing it. And that's basically everything on that. Just one last note, I do still plan on making content regarding Technoblade, especially now that I've made the D&D AU, meshing these two things that I adore so much into one. And because I want to keep his memory alive, reminding ourselves that Technoblade never dies. I hope to do better next year in terms of scheduling, as well as be a bit more consistent. I also hope to finish all the projects that I announced publicly but never got to or finished. This includes the D&D Emerald duo that I hope will be out sometime in January. So I hope you subscribe and become a part of this journey and community of mine. I even made a Discord because I wanted this community that I garnered from Technoblade and the Dream SMP to be a part of the creation process of this D&D character, because that means a lot to me, this community aspect of it. And so, what about y'all? If you're comfortable, you can write it or maybe make your own video about the things that you loved about Technoblade. What did he give you? And what did you lose? And lastly, what's been helping you grieve? Take care of yourselves, okay? I'd love to hear your stories. Rest in peace, Technoblade. Rest in peace, Alex. I may have never known you as Alex, but I appreciate the stories and content that you were able to create as Technoblade. Technoblade never dies, and to everyone, annyeong, adios, see you next year.